beginner colored pencils are typically very hard to blend, but like this one, the Faber Castell Classic, this is a kids colored pencils, and right here it blends really well with the help of this particular solution that I'm gonna share with you right now. But there is nothing to blend if we weren't able to layer different shades of color on paper. So this is the way that I do with the skin tone in building the perfect realistic skin tone. Even if we are not using polychromos or Prismacolor, we are using here a kids grade colored pencils, and a lot of artists all over the world use beginner colored pencils that are typically not very easy to blend compared to Prismas or to Caran d'Ache or to polychromos. So here we start with layering. So don't be afraid of using very dark colors if you are using kids grade colored pencils or beginner colored pencils, because the pigments are not going to be very intense. So just use the darks, that everything, to be able to build on your shadows, and don't worry if it's going to be rough, because we are going to blend it easier. Now the paper that I use here, and this is what I suggest if you are a beginner, this is the Canson Mitientes. Just choose the white because there are lots of colors with this Canson Mitientes. Choose the white or the off-white, any light paper with this Canson Mitientes, because it has a very nice texture and tooth that the colored pencils adhere to, and you will be able to layer several layers of colors with this kind of paper. This is a very nice paper for beginners. So just like what you do with the layering, just layer the colors that you saw on your reference photo. So after doing that, don't worry about the blending, because here we are going to be using this solution. This is the Gamsol, or the odorless mineral spirit. Be careful of using this chemical because it can be very dangerous. So just put a little bit of this Gamsol on a separate container and just get a soft flat brush. Make sure that the brush is very soft, and just very gently blend the colored pencils. So as you can see here, it melts down all those layers of colors, and it blends very easily the layers of colored pencils. So you should be able to layer lots of colors to be able to be using this Gamsol, because without the layers there's nothing to blend. So just be careful not to over wash with this solution the colors, because it might ruin the paper. But because I as you can see, I layer lots of colors, the liquid is not totally what do you call this, absorbed by the paper. It is just on the surface and just blending all those layers beautifully right here. So I understand the difficulty of blending, especially the non-artist grade colored pencils, because Prismas, they can just blend in itself, and polychromos and Caran d'Ache, but most colored pencils that beginners use don't blend very easily. So this is just one way of blending your student grade or kids grade or any cheaper brands of colored pencils. It can just be blended very easily, very gently right here. And what you need to do is just let it dry, and you will see that like right here, it dries down and it fades out a little bit, but there's no problem about that, because you can just layer more colors above the blended surface with this Gamsol, and everything becomes really nice and smooth. The layers above the blended surface by the Gamsol surprisingly is very smooth. So after you blended with the Gamsol, the next layers that you put above the blended surface becomes really nice and very smooth already. So as you can see right here on this particular drawing, it's very nice, well blended. This is a kids grade cheap colored pencil, but you can see here it blends really well with this solution.